Well, welcome back. This is a video on the controller, so finally had time to take something else apart here. So we're moving right along. Just basically 2 or 3 components left until we can arrange them and figure out how big of a case we need. The controller, the expansion pack, and the memory/rumble pack. So once we take those apart, we'll have the boards, so then we can arrange them and see about how big a case we need. So we'll get started here. These controllers are pretty easy. It's kind of like the last video. I'll take my screwdriver. There's my magnet. Take kind of like the last video. Like I said, these just mainly taking screws out. If they'll lift out. Nope, it doesn't want to come out. There we go. Just a few of them around here. Standard Phillips. Once again, thankfully Nintendo didn't use their little Nintendo screws for here too. That would have been a real pain in the butt. So far, it's 4 screws. Five screws. Six screws. Kind of hard to remember to keep the picture centered so you guys can see it if you care to. Anyways, I always still using my webcam, so I kind of forget that it's out. I gotta hold it out always. Alright, you may think they're done, but there's actually 2 more screws inside of there beside that pack, though. You can't you can kind of see those 2 little circles down in there if you look really closely. So we gotta get those out too. They're a little harder to get out because they're down in there, and they're right by the wall here, so your screwdriver has to be pretty skinny. Alright. Okay, we'll just leave that in there then a little bit. Get this other one out first. They're in there a lot tighter than the other ones. There's one. No, it doesn't want to come out. Well, let's just try to take it off anyway. Oh, there we go. Left trigger went off. I think it's all screwed into this side, so we'll take this one off. Here we go. Now we can take this, push the screw out there. There we go. Alright, look at that. Sucked it right up to the magnet. That's what it's for. Alright, so here's the Z trigger. We'll need to, that's kind of in there. God, you can't see, I always forget. Here we go. Just pop it up like that. Carefully pull that out. Of course, we're going to use these. You can go, one thing while I'm thinking about it, it's important to note, if you want to use a different, if you want to use a different control stick or thumbstick, whatever, you can't use this kind of controller first party. You have to use a third party controller. It has something to do with the electronics and the wires and stuff. So yeah, if you want to use a different controller, you have to use like a third-party controller, which evidently can use the different things. I like to keep things authentic, I guess. This is a good way of putting it. So, and I thought it'd be easier to just to use this. And I mean, the thumbstick's not too thick. It's got a ruler out here. I'll kind of measure it. So, from the top of the thumbstick to the bottom of that thing, it's about 3.5 centimeters. And so to about the top of the hole where it comes out to the bottom is just about almost 2.5 centimeters. So it's really not that thick anyways. So I just decided I'll just do that. So that'll be easy enough. So it'll keep it simple. So alright, now what we can do is you can take these rubber stoppers off here, might as well. They just kind of pop off anyways. They have those little buttons just kind of stick inside of the board and in their certain places. So those we can just set aside. Same thing with this one. If we can get it out. There we go. Hopefully those don't come out inside there. It doesn't look like they'll come out. So okay, and you'll have to be careful with these side things, of course, because they're just attached by that cable, and the cable actually feels pretty stiff. So yeah, you'll just want to make sure that you don't ruin those, because well, I have to use it later. So, well, actually, we probably won't have to use it now that I think about it, because we're gonna be using tact switches for these. I didn't get the rubber topped ones, so the ones I got will click, but you can get rubber topped ones that don't click, so that works too. But those, I think, yeah, we'll just I don't know how close you'll be able to see it, but you can kind of see that the light green thing up at the top there, the light green one. That'll come around, follow the trace, it goes into this black stuff here, which you see in the middle. There's two black lines. This one that's coming from this black side goes up there, but it doesn't connect to this one. So when the switch is pressed, it connects both of those, and then it comes back up to this black one, over to this black circle, and back out to this other wire. So these two wires will actually be connected straight to the tact switch. So we probably won't even use these. Those will probably get cut off later. We won't do that now, of course, but and because they can't be this close to the board, obviously those wires are way too short. So alright, let's continue taking that off. And they're so handily marked. Left, there's an L on there, right on there, a Z on here. So alright, here we go. What's next? There's these three screws that you have to actually take apart to get the Z, or the control stick, I mean, out. 3 little screws. By the way, I can give you a measurement now because I have a ruler here on how big the screwdriver actually is. It's 1, 2, 3 millimeters. Right at 3 millimeters. So, and as you can see, I've gotten all these small screwdrivers, and these are multiple size screws. I mean, on the controller, got pretty much all the screws for the Nintendo 64 off of this one screwdriver, except for those big ones. If you remember from the last thing, I had to use a bigger screwdriver that had a bigger base, so more leverage and whatnot. So, all right, this Z thing appears to be stuck right on there. So, oh, here we go. Here we go. I can pull these things apart and get it off, I think. Yep, there we go. We'll just kind of bend this around and have it be flat for now. Didn't break it, did I? Nope, I didn't. Okay. And depending on how spaced things, we may have to desolder these capacitors here. I don't know yet, so that's just all in the making. And there we go. So you can check that out. Alright, let's just pop this cord out here so that doesn't get in our way. Pull that baby off. Look at that. Shiny. Alright, and you may as well pull these off right away. These rubber switches, they're just slid around plastic posts. Pop these ones off. Pop this D-pad out. Don't know if I'll use that yet. Still deciding on that. I don't know if I'll include that. A lot of games don't use them. I've heard it's a lot of the wrestling games and stuff that do use them. I think Kirby's Dream Land, or no, it's just Corvex64, the Crystal Shards. If I remember right, I think that one uses the D-pad, but I can't remember if you can use the control stick. Some of them are like that. So anyway, there's that. Now you may notice the one downside to using these controllers is the C buttons are not all the same height. If we take these out, you'll see what I mean, hopefully. If you've got good depth perception, you can kind of tell that this one here is maybe a little taller. These two are about the same, but these other two over here, these two, are a little shorter. It's kind of hard because my camera's angled, but so I guess you might not be able to perceive it, but they are actually shorter. If I get it side by side here, you can see that some of these are a lot taller. Now, to keep the buttons from rotating when we get them in the portable case, there's these little tabs here. What we'll do is we'll actually cut out these circle guides for these beads, and let me get these two out right away. In fact, we may just cut this whole thing out right here and paste it into the case just to make it easier. But what we may do too is we may just cut those circles out, just the guide part for all the buttons, maybe even the D-pad, probably the control stick, but you'll use it as guides. But we may very well just cut it with something and then sand it down, and then just glue little things on there based on the guide, because you'll be able to see where they should go. However, that would probably be kind of hard because some of those tabs on these buttons are pretty small. So yeah, we may just like I said, just cut this whole area out here and paste it in there. The other thing that's good about this is I'm sure the other controllers have it too, but is these screw posts. So we can actually reuse these screws. That's why I keep them. So they can actually be reused maybe for, I don't know, screwing in the fan, say. The cartridge slot, we'll screw that in so it stays tight. Different things like that. We can cut these posts off, glue them in there, and use them for securing things. So also, I'm not sure yet, but I may try actually cutting out some of these grips, and probably these two, maybe this bigger one for the control stick, and actually putting it on whatever case I end up using. But that again is tentative. So I guess there's that. And same as other ones, if you want to put them in plastic bags, unless you're going to actually start working on it right away. However, I've got time, so I put them in plastic bags just to keep them safe. So that's I think that's it for this video. I don't think yeah, there is you can actually separate the thumbstick from things. It doesn't appear that you can do that with this cord. I wish you could. Doesn't look like it though. This control stick, it doesn't look like you'd be able to either. So, well, I don't know. We'll just leave it there. It's not too much of a hassle just to leave it here. So, that's it for this video, I guess. And up next, we'll take apart the Rumble/memory controller pack. So, we'll see you then. Thanks for watching, and good luck if you're watching these to make a portable. So, see you next time.